My name is Marissa Kelley, and I am a junior marketing communications major. I was always kind of that kid who would volunteer to design the senior prom flyer. It was actually one of my art professors who had used to work in advertising and kind of made me think that advertising was a really great way to channel all of my creative energy into a career that I could really succeed in. After I visited Emerson during my senior year of high school, I came away with the impression that Emerson had a very high reputation in the job world. And I just had the feeling that if I went to Emerson, then I was going to graduate being the strongest competitor that I could be in the marketing and advertising industry. My sophomore year, I was on an Emerson-sponsored trip to New York City visiting agencies, and we spoke to an Emerson alum who referred to Emerson students as hustlers. And that's always really stuck with me. All of the students here have this kind of hustler mentality where they're all super talented and they know what they want to do in their careers, and they work very, very hard to get there. I loved the marketing communications program because it was very hands-on from day one. I knew I wasn't going to have to wait until my junior or senior year to start specializing in my major. I was working with real clients, creating real campaigns that were actually going to see results. Marketing communication students get a taste of every aspect of the business. I'm specializing in advertising, but I've taken classes in public relations and media planning and marketing research. I think in general, the marketing communications faculty does a really great job of giving students kind of the big picture of the marketing industry. You know, there's a lot of change going on with all the advancements in technology, and it's really throwing everyone for a loop in the advertising industry, and I think the faculty here really prepares you for that. For me, one professor in particular has been kind of a mentor to me. He's an adjunct professor here at Emerson, Peter Saronic, and he's had years in the industry as a creative director and owning his own agency. As soon as I approached him my sophomore year outside of class for a question about an interview, he's been really awesome about reviewing cover letters and prepping me for interviews and helping me build my portfolio outside of class. Typically, I will attend 4 classes a week, usually 1 or 2 classes a day, and spend a few hours at my position at the Office of Creative Services as a graphic design intern. And usually there is some sort of group meeting every night, whether it's a group of students working together on a project or a meeting with a client. The Emerson mafia, or as they call it, I think is something very real. Right now I'm designing a logo for another student for one of her projects, and for one of my client projects I needed a videographer, so I went through the Emerson VMA department. So I think that there's a lot of collaboration with students at this school, both within your major and also outside of your major. I know that I'm able to consult my peers when I need help on a project, and I know that they're going to be willing to help me with it because they'll expect me to be there for them when they need my skills. Emerson has definitely prepared me in a lot of ways to enter the job force. Everywhere that I've gone on a job interview, the people that are interviewing me have been very impressed by the variety I have in my resume. All of the pieces of my resume have been a direct result of my experience here at Emerson, whether it was an Emerson connection that got me to that position, or an Emerson project I worked on, or an Emerson student group I was a part of. I am hoping to enter the creative side of the advertising business. I would love to work in a creative department as an art director or an account planner. Someday I'd love to be a creative director at a successful agency, but we'll see. I would say that for anyone looking for a very hands-on program that will give them a lot of real-life experience and that will prepare them day one after graduation to walk into a job, into a really great job, I think that Emerson is the perfect fit.